listening to the Sportz Hive Podcast.
Oh, Wade, what a play! Wow. Oh, wow. Piece of it, Wade.
Afternoon, and welcome to the Sportz Hive Podcast, where we provide you with all the buzz in the sports world. I'm Jacob Hyde, and alongside of me is Luke Hoffman. Today's Monday, February 24th, 2020, and today we're going to be talking about some Lakers and 76ers news and a hint of college basketball in the middle of the show. And always, we like to end our show with our daily picks. So without any further ado, let's get started. So, Luke, the first thing I want to ask you today is just how you're doing. How's your Monday going so far?
I'm all right, just chilling, going to work later and everything.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good as well. And there really wasn't much going on with big news-wise around the sports world over the weekend, but we do have some NBA news, and we would like to start the show off with talking about the Lakers and how they waived center Demarcus Cousins, and they picked up Markieff Morris from Detroit off waivers, and he cleared them last night, and he was able to join the Lakers. So I want to just ask you, how do you like the move by the Lakers?
On the Lakers side, it does something, but not much. It's definitely not to the impact that his brother Marcus will have on the other team in LA, the Clippers. But he's having a decent year. He's averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, and around 40% three-point shooting. The Lakers need a three-point shooter, especially if they want to compete with the Bucks in the finals or whatever team they play in the finals. For the Pistons, this just continues their rebuild. They've been just dropping significant players all season, whether it's Andre Drummond, Reggie Jackson, now Mark. They're definitely gearing up for a rebuild. And like I told Carrick last episode, I think they'll be trading Blake Griffin in the offseason.
Yeah, I honestly, when I saw this and I looked at it, looked into it, I honestly didn't like the move for the Lakers. I don't see the upside to this move moving forward into the second half of the year and going into the playoffs. Obviously, they're dropping Demarcus Cousins. He's been out, so he really hasn't had any relevance. So that's a good move, but picking up Markieff Morris, I don't know. That's the one thing. He's a good three-point shooter, but he did come off the bench in Detroit. So the way he played in Detroit was against other bench players. So what kind of impact does he really have on the Lakers going into the postseason? And I just don't see the upside to what the Lakers were doing to pick up Markieff. The only thing I can see is obviously, like you said, is his three-point shooting and the spacing. But Detroit is a pretty bad team, and they needed spacing. And obviously, he couldn't even start for the Pistons. So, what makes you think he's going to be making an impact on the Lakers as they play the Clippers and the Rockets and all of them, all the other teams in the West going into the playoffs? So, I may be wrong, but I just don't like what the Lakers did.
Yeah, and the Pistons, to be fair, the Pistons are trying to start a lot of their younger guys, so it made sense for him not to be starting. They want to start guys like Sekou Doumbouya and Don Maker, Christian Wood. So, it makes sense for him coming off the bench if they want to continue starting those guys. But and as far as DeMarcus Cousins goes, I heard he's going to be staying with the Lakers, just not on contract. They're going to help him train and stuff for the remainder of the season. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to him next year. I know he was on the Lakers bench even after being waived yesterday, so it's going to be interesting to see if maybe he returns there or what happens with him next season.
Yeah, that's another question I want to ask you is who do you think, knowing Cousins' injuries throughout his career, who do you think will end up going after him?
Well, he is not the same player, obviously, as he was in Sacramento or even New Orleans, but so he's not going to get attention from too many teams, especially at high contracts. It'll be another minimum contract like he signed the last 2 seasons. I think it'll probably be another contender that'll get him. I don't think he wants to go to another bad team. Like he played the first basically 7 years of his career for a terrible team.
Yeah.
If a contender wants him, then they'll take him.
Yeah, he's been bouncing around obviously to the Warriors and the Lakers, and now I don't know. Maybe the Clippers will go after him, but at some
Clippers
point,
do need size, so if
yeah,
next year they decide they want him, I could see that happening.
yeah, I could see it too. But I just don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. But going along with the NBA news, we have the 76ers, and they have just lost 6 straight road games. They've been awful on the road. Their road record is just outrageously bad. I don't know how they're going to survive the playoffs, being a lower seed. Luke, what is your whole take on the 76ers being a whole different team from home, on their home court, and then going on the road, not being able to perform?
I don't know what it is. They're only 1.5 games over the Pacers, which would drop them to 6 if they lose that. And now Ben Simmons re-aggravated his injury against the Bucks a couple nights ago. If he's not on the floor, they've been a really bad team without him. And if they're going to get a low seed, they're going to have to play either the Raptors, Celtics, or Heat. And they're going to have to win a series as a low seed, you have to win a road game. And to win a series, period. As a low seed, you have to win a road game because you're going to be playing 4 road games, 3 home games if it goes 7. And I can't see them winning a road game in any of those places.
Yeah, they obviously their first two games in the series would be on the road, and they would probably go down 2-0, and then they would have to win. Yeah, like you said, they have to win a road game basically, but
the best bet for them would be playing Miami because they're also a bad road team, and so they'd be able to probably take all their home games. And it would just go down to a game 7 where anything can happen. So their best bet is sticking in 5 and Miami staying in 4, and those two having a big series. But they can't beat the Celtics or Raptors in a series right now.
Yeah, they're definitely going to struggle in the playoffs if they cannot start winning on the road. And I honestly don't know.
A lot of it is Brett Brown and coaching, his rotations, he doesn't know how to run an offense. It seems like it sometimes.
Yeah. Do you think going off of him? Do you think the way they're performing on the road? Do you think he will have a job with the 76ers going into next year?
Probably not. They've stuck with him so long because he was their coach while they were winning games, and he's been with the process the whole time. But I think now it's time they're a real team, and they can't just survive off the coach that helped them rebuild. You saw the Bucks got rid of their rebuilding coach. Jason Kidd got a coach that can actually help them contend. That's, I think, what they have to do with Brett Brown.
Yeah, so the 76ers will definitely be an interesting team to watch going into the postseason and just the year, honestly. If maybe they can start winning on the road, I think Ben Simmons is their best player, so he'll have to obviously step up if he didn't aggravate his injury too much. He can continue to play and carry this team. And
they're looking at Jason Tatum right now. Mad they picked Markieff Morris over him.
Yeah,
the way he played last night or yesterday against the Lakers, almost 40-something points. They're looking at that mad.
Yeah, they are definitely
because they had that pick and they traded up for Markieff too. They could have had him at 3. They didn't have to trade anything.
Yeah, they're definitely looking at back at that pick and saying, why did we pick Markieff? But if we both have nothing to add to this NBA news, I want to briefly talk about college basketball. Obviously, this past if you guys did not watch any college hoops this weekend, Saturday, honestly, in my opinion, and what I've saw on Twitter, people were saying that Saturday was one of the best Saturdays, if not the best Saturday of the year by far. Obviously, the big matchup was number 1 Baylor versus number 3 Kansas, and number 1 Baylor, number 2 Gonzaga, and number 4 San Diego State, who was undefeated. So they suffered their first loss, but they all lost on Saturday. So the rankings, so we will see that. But I'm only going to say that I am going to dive deeper into the top 25 and those games on Saturday afternoon and evening on the new show on Tuesday, which I am hosting. It is the World of College Basketball show on Tuesday, which I'll be hosting, like I said. And also, we have other shows that we have brought up for the Sportz Hive Network. It is, like I said, Tuesday with me, World of College Basketball show. Wednesday will be the Fantasy Wire with Carrick Jackson. Thursday will be Intentional Balk with my guy, Lucas Hoffman, and Charlie Gutierrez. And on Sunday, we will now have another show. And I honestly don't know off the top of my head. I do not know what it is called. It was
In case
just
you
released.
missed it with Kobe Lynch. He'll be recapping everything you might that we didn't talk about, that Carrick didn't talk about, me and Charlie didn't talk about. Talking about all that on Sunday.
Yeah, so we have things coming out on Sunday or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. So 6 out of the 7 days of the week, we will have content dropping just for you guys. So hopefully you guys can take a listen to that. And so we're not going to talk anything much more about college basketball, as I will take a deeper dive into all that on Tuesday, where I will be hosting the World of College Basketball show. So to end the show, we will have our daily picks between the NBA and some college basketball. So our first game for our picks is in the NBA. It'll be the Grizzlies at the Clippers, and that game is happening tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I'll take the young Grizzlies at home. I was about to say the Clippers, but I will take, or not, on the road. I'll take the Grizzlies on the road.
I'm going with the Clippers. Those guys look insane right now. Right now they're my favorite in the West. And the Grizzlies are good. They're a good young team, but I got to go with the Clippers here.
Yeah, so Clippers-Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, a 7-game series. Who would you take?
I'm taking Clippers. 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, I know. I don't know who I would pick right now at the moment.
There's no home. I mean, the Lakers would be the home team basically for 7 games because there's more Lakers fans there. But I still got to go with the Clippers just because they're the best team.
Yeah, and Kawhi and Paul George, if they play the whole playoffs and they're not injured,
it would be a fun series. All games at the Staples Center. Yeah,
they are two. I think undoubtedly the 2 best two-way players in the league is Kawhi and Paul George. Undoubtedly, I think that may be another topic on our podcast, a little debate with that. But for me, right now, I'll say it: Kawhi and Paul George, 2 best two-way players in the league. So going to the next game, we got off topic a little bit there, but going on to the next game, the Milwaukee Bucks at the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors have been on a tear as of late, but I will take the Bucks.
Yeah, the Raptors have been on a tear, but it's been on a tear. The Bucks, so I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Yep. Yeah, that game is happening.
Their only loss recently was against the Pacers without Giannis right before the break, so I don't think their minds are really in that one. So, yeah,
yeah, it'll be a good game. It'll definitely be a good game to watch. And that game is happening tomorrow night, Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and you guys should tune into that game. Our next game is the Celtics at the Jazz, and Boston is playing pretty well. Jason Tatum, the young guy, he's going to be a star in this league, so I'll take the Jason Tatum-led Boston Celtics.
I'm going with the Celtics, too. They looked great against the Lakers last night. The end of the game was crazy. Obviously, they didn't win, but it was a really tough fight against possibly one of the best teams in the league. So I'm going with the Celtics over Utah.
And that game is happening on Wednesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. And our last game for the NBA is the Portland Trail Blazers at the Indiana Pacers. And that game is happening Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And I will take the Pacers at home.
I'm going with the Trailblazers. Dame's still somewhat hot, not as hot as he was pre-break, but still doing great. And the Pacers have just not been good. Malcolm Brogdon's been struggling all year almost since the first month of the season. and nothing's really been going for them recently. So I'm going to go with the Trailblazers.
All right, so that concludes our NBA picks, and we are now going to be switching gears to some college ball. And there's honestly a lot of good games coming up this week and weekend, which I'll, again, dive into on Tuesday as I host my new show for college basketball. So our first game in college is going to be number 11, Louisville, at number 8, Florida State. It's going to be happening today, Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is a huge ACC matchup. I think Louisville has been sneaky. They've lost a couple games and dropped in the rankings, but they've been sneaking back up there. So I think I will take Jordan Nwora and the Louisville Cardinals.
I got number 8 Florida State here.
All right, our next game is Iowa at Michigan State. Michigan State's still not in the top 25, but I do think if they beat this Iowa team, who Luka Garza is being on an absolute tear, he's been a complete surprise for the college basketball fans, and he's one of the national player of the year candidates, obviously. But I will take the Spartans at home.
I'm going with Iowa.
All right, and that game is happening on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Next game is Georgetown at Marquette. Another big East showdown, but I will take Marquette at home.
I'm going Marquette.
All right, and I do want to add a game. Here. This is the second game of the doubleheader on Wednesday night. The first game is St. John's at Villanova, I believe it is. I want to add that game, so I'll take Villanova in that one. But those are the two big East matchups on Wednesday night.
All right, I'll go Villanova too.
All right, and lastly, number 24, Arizona at USC. I do believe Arizona and USC have the same record. I'm not positive on that, but I will take USC because Arizona, just like the 76ers, Arizona plays better at home than on the road. So I will take the Trojans to take down Arizona.
I also took USC here.
All right, and that just about does it for us today on this wonderful Monday. We would both like to thank you guys for listening into the Sportz Hive Podcast. Newly, we will be releasing episodes every Monday and Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and the Anchor app. And we will also be adding the World of College Basketball show on Tuesday, Fantasy Wire with Carrick Jackson on Wednesday, on Thursday with the own Lucas Hoffman and Charlie Gutierrez, and in case you missed it, on Sunday with Kobe Lynch. So to know about all of those shows and more, please follow our social media in the description below so you know when everything is dropping. So we just hope you guys enjoy the rest of your spectacular Monday, and we hope to see you guys next time right here on the Sportz Hive Podcast.